Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you about the underlying theory about ideation and how to formalize a good problem statement. So, to ideate you want to come up with creative ideas, and creativity is usually measured as originality, flexibility and fluency. So, to be creative, of course, it should be novel, it should be adaptable to anything, and fluency, so the speed and the quantity of ideas also plays an essential role. Why is this the case? Because over time, so this is the x-axis, you have three phases of ideas where your energy level between the phases might drop significantly. And in the first phase, this is basically where you come up with the ideas that you have in your mind, and they're not novel, they're not creative. So these are common and everyday ideas. And in the second phase, this is where most people stop, because they will come up with silly ideas. For guys, it's often very sexual ideas, and people would say that's really stupid. But keep on doing, because only in the third phase you will combine novel and useful ideas. So these are the ideas that you actually want to work with to, for example, create new products. And the first phase we refer to as purge, and this is where you want to work for yourself. So you best want to work a paper, write everything down that comes to your mind so that it's gone. You don't want to look at it again. During the second and third phase, it's good to work with other people and to what we refer to as hitchhike. So you build on other ideas and you bunch ideas that you can build on and so on. It's also fine. Now, let me ask you, how many ideas you think there are per waves? So of course this differs between people, but usually it's between 50 and 250 ideas. So when you go through all three phases, so this is in a row, so you don't stop after one phase, and so this happens over time, you will end up with at least around 150 ideas per person. And when we look at the development of a product, so in the beginning we may start with 3,000 ideas that come out of such ideation session with multiple people. So this is our diverging, so where we open up the space and we create as many ideas as we can to get to the third stage of our ideation. And then we cluster our ideas. So you take different variables, for example, novelty versus usefulness, and so on, and you cluster your ideas due to similarity, what you want. That's up to you how you define your clusters, and then you may end up with around 120 out of the initial 3,000 ideas. And then you converge. So this is by diverging is going broader, this is bringing it back together, and you might end up defining 7 good projects that are worth developing further. From these 7, maybe about 4 will make it to launch, and only 1 product out of 3,000 initial ideas will be successful. So you need the fluency, the quantity of ideas to actually, in the end, have one successful product. And don't jump to the solution first. It's really important that you first define a good problem statement. So that's the ground on which you can start your ideation session, so that everybody has a good understanding what you want to tackle and what your problem is. Most people start jumping to the solution and never ever solve a real problem. So how to do that? To actually go through all these steps. This is before you start with your ideation session, which comes over here. A problem statement is a brief and concise summary of 3 basic elements, which are: what is the problem, who you want to solve it for, and why it's relevant, so why should it be solved. And you can use a simple framework that will guide you to write such a problem statement. Here's one example, and I will move me out of here a bit. So it should be specific address who you want to solve it through, why it's relevant. It should be positive. Nobody likes to work with a negatively framed problem statement because it's kind of depressing. It should be ambitious. You want to achieve something and it needs to be relevant, and overall, keep it simple. Don't write too much. Be on the spot. And again, the 3 basic components that you should address is: what is your problem? Who are you addressing and who do you want to solve it for? And why is it relevant for your target group? And formalize it in an open way. So if you make it too close, then it's really hard to broaden up during the ideation session. What may help you to formalize the problem statement is to create a persona, but you will learn that in another video. The persona will help you to identify who is your target group and who you want to solve it for. Good luck with your problem statement.